Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of In the Studio. I'm your host, Lynn Weaver. The program is brought to you by Davis Media Access and broadcasts on Davis Community Television. That's Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Uverse Menu 99. We're also online at dctv.davismedia.org. Today I have a very special guest with me, Paul Del Bene. Welcome.
Thank you.
He is a performer and a physical comedian. He has his own production company and his own website called I'm a Fool.
Yes, correct.
And one thing that I must say, he also knows so many different languages, including Italian,
Yeah.
German,
Yeah.
French,
Yes.
Japanese,
No.
Chinese,
No. But sometimes
italiano,
English, ma
italiano,
certo.
certo.
Sì, italiano
Allora
non è
ci
un problema.
canterà qualche cosa in
Non ho
italiano?
per niente, guarda, sono un comico fisica, allora è una cosa di visuale che devi vedere, non c'entra la voce proprio, è una cosa di movimento proprio.
Sorry guys, let's go back to English. Now, you are a physical comedian.
Yes.
And of course that begs the question, what is a physical comedian?
Well, it's something in the style of kind of old school black and white film stars. So Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Jacques Tati, something that is based more on just the body and the physicality of things instead of the spoken word.
So is this sort of like a mime?
No, not necessarily. I think a mime a lot of times has to deal with imaginary objects. So they create a space based on imaginary things and they create it physically. Whereas what I do is more like a silent film star kind of stepped off the screen. So I don't mime that there's a chair, I actually have a chair.
And the broom.
And the broom, so I actually deal with objects. And it's not that my character can't talk.
Yes.
I just feel that you can convey so much information physically before you need to use the word.
Yes, and sometimes the words are distracting.
Exactly.
So that is, well, thank you for that explanation. I didn't know what a physical comedian was.
Certainly.
Well, again, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for the time that you're taking off your very busy schedule and to talk to the community. So you will be performing an evening with Olaf.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is a performance at the Cesar Chavez School in Davis.
It's a benefit for Cesar Chavez and for the Davis Schools Foundation.
Okay.
But it's going to be performed at the Vets Theater.
At the Veterans Theatre,
yeah.
Yes. And later on during the interview, we'll put up a flyer for the event.
Great.
So people will have the times and the date and all that.
Perfect.
The who, when, and etc. Now, the evening has a very nice title. It's a hilarious night with of old-fashioned fun and old-fashioned fun for from age 6 to 106.
Yeah, correct. It's the whole basis of it is really the physicality and a humor that really spans all the ages.
Yes.
I think right now a lot of the comedy and humor out there, the stand-up can be a little aggressive, a little degrading, and it's laughing at people instead of laughing together collectively. And so I feel that, humor is really about looking at our faults together and laughing. So that way it's really a family show. So anyone can enjoy it and just enjoy it on different levels.
And of course there won't be any, what the French call les gros mots.
No.
The bad words will not be there. Oh, that's good. So we don't have to.
You won't have to cover the little 6-year-old's ears. Ooh la la!
us about yourself. Tell us about your story and how did you decide to become a physical comedian? Is there something in your childhood that prompted that, or is it an act of despair?
No, I think I kind of just basically bumped into it. I mean, all through high school and college, I did more classical theater, and I was at summer stock auditions actually one year, one of these large college auditions where you audition in this room of 400 people and then you check and see what postings you got for callbacks for summer stock theater.
Yes.
And in the hallway of the hotel where this was, I bumped into this gentleman who I thought I knew, and I said, don't I know you from somewhere? And he said, no, you don't. I said, well, who are you? He said, oh, I'm Steve Smith, the director of Ringling Brothers Clown College. And I was like, oh, okay. He said, oh, I'm doing a workshop. You should come do the workshop and see if you might want to do Clown College. And I thought, well, maybe, I don't know. So I went to the workshop, and it was just lots of fun. And I thought, why not audition? So I auditioned and actually got in. And so
Wonderful.
yeah.
Yes. Did you know early on in life that you had this talent to make people laugh? For example, when you were in a party or with your family and people tell you, oh, you should be on stage.
No.
No?
No. In fact, nobody in my family thinks I'm funny. I mean, it's kind of, yeah. I mean, because a lot of people come up to my kids and they say, oh, it must be so much fun having a dad as a clown. And they're like, no. Because I mean, it's like anything. It's like if you have a parent who's a doctor.
Yes.
I mean, you don't go up and ask them, oh, so did your mom take your tonsils out at dinner, or is she is she stitching you up? I mean, you don't bring your work home. So I mean,
that's right.
You wouldn't expect the
Yes.
the doctor to come home, or it's the same thing with the clown. And I mean, I'm
fair enough. And there are words. I mean, it's well known that the funniest clowns are also, or comics, I should say, they're also very serious off stage.
Yeah. Yes, they are. I think that comes with time and age and experience.
Yes.
That a lot of people have said that you don't really become a good clown until you pass the age of 30, because you need the life experience to really understand, in a sense, the tragedy of life, so you can laugh about it.
Yes.
So I mean, there's a lot of thought behind it in clown philosophy and everything, but that's, unless you're in the field, it's kind of boring to hear about. So I won't bore you with it.
Well, I have many questions that I'd like to ask you, but I think that what I'd like is we have a terrific clip of some of your work. It's more like a collage, and I'd like our viewers to see it.
Certainly.
So if we could have it, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Marvelous. Thank you, Lynn.
Olaf.
Yes.
Olaf. So how did you come up with this name?
Well, actually, it came out of a workshop that I did with Pierre Billon, who is a clown teacher who had taught at the Lecoq School in Paris.
It's a very famous school.
Yes, it's quite
Yes.
well known. He taught
Yes.
acrobatics and clown character work there. But I took the workshop actually in Ticino, the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland, and it's a week and a half long course where you work on clown character and development, and that's really where I hit on the character of Olaf.
Olaf,
And
yes.
at the end of the workshop, each person comes through a door, and the audience, or the other members who are the audience, call out the first name that comes to mind. And so I walked out the door, and someone said, "Olaf!" And it stuck, so I just figured I'd keep it.
It's a beautiful name.
Yeah,
yes.
well, it's really nice also because written out on some of the graphics, you can read it as Olaf.
Oh, I
Which is
see.
kind of
So
tricky,
it's a play on words.
Yeah,
Yes.
an unknown play on words.
No, it's very subtle, but very, very nice. How, and I'm going to be serious here,
Okay.
how do you prepare your shows? Do they come to you? Do you have a theme that you take from your... You must be a fantastic observer of the live theatre.
Yeah, well, I feel that the development of the character, that's why I talk about Olaf as a fool or a jester. That theme of, being the one who can tell the truth and not be punished.
Yes.
So I kind of feel that a lot of the humor that I do is kind of like me being willing to hold up a mirror and be foolish and show how I'm fallible and I make mistakes, but instead of shying it away and pushing away, kind of dealing with it. And so having a character that way, I can pretty much put it in any situation and figure out a way to get around it. I think it's kind of part of like the four truths of a clown, as it were.
That's very interesting. And in doing so, do you generally think consciously, I'm sure you think unconsciously, about a message that you want to project, something or something perhaps that you've observed in society which is ludicrous?
It's not so much commentary. I mean, for the most part, there are deeper levels to it, but I think the more I can come at it and just be simple and true and honest, then we laugh together about the fallibilities of human life. It's not that I'm picking any particular thing. I think, in life in general, there are moments that happen and you're like, oops, and then you have to think about it, and then you get an idea how to fix it, aha, and then you fix it, voila, and then, oops. So, I mean, it's this cycle of, it's just kind of looking at that very honestly and not saying, oh, look, you got that ugly shirt, let's all laugh at that person, but saying, oh, I'm going to do this, oh, and I completely failed, and stand there in that moment of, I failed.
Yes.
And keep that moment of, oh, man.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? This is horrible. And if you just stay there long enough, someone's going to go, oh, God, I remember when that happened to me. And you get a little laugh. And then it's like, well, why? But the character has to think, why are you laughing? This isn't funny. I'm having a really hard time here. And I think it's that honesty that brings it to life.
That's right. And bring this immediate connection and response with the audience.
Yeah.
Yes, for example, Charlie Chaplin one of the things, the only thing I remember about him, except for being funny, is that he was always the victim
Yes.
of life,
Yeah.
and laughed at himself.
Yes.
And he was put in situations where he was always the underdog, but he managed to laugh about them. Do you think Olaf resembles that?
Yes, I think there's definitely that underdog aspect to him, but I think also that's kind of part of being humble and part of humanity itself. That we do all make mistakes, and the minute that you can actually recognize that, in some ways, people think that makes you the underdog.
Yes.
But for me, it kind of brings out this humanness.
Or authenticity.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Did you ever find yourself in a situation in front of an audience that you didn't make the connection, you didn't make them laugh?
Ooh, yes.
And what do you do about it? You laugh.
I laugh because I either laugh or cry, because it was, I think, one of the major fails that I've had in my lifetime, and I failed majorly, and in an amazing location.
Can you tell us about it?
Sure.
I mean, if it's not too painful.
No, not at all, not at all. I was performing at the Festival de Cirque du Mans, which is the new circus festival that occurs in Paris, France, and it's held at the Cirque d'Hiver, which is one of the last standing indoor circus arenas. It's owned by the Bouillon family now, but this is a circus arena that has been Grock has performed there, the Fratellini brothers, Chaplin, all the clown greats have performed in this space. So it was an amazing honor as this young clown to be able to go and perform in this space. It was just like rich with history, and I was there with my clown partner at the time. We had a clown duo, and we were representing Switzerland. And so it's a beautiful theater, huge vaulted ceilings, chandeliers. It seats like 2,000 people. I mean, all this beautiful fabric and velvet and everything.
Intimidating.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
And so, there's the announcer, and he says, "And now, ladies and gentlemen, representing Switzerland, Gonzo and Olaf." And we come out, da 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 da, and we do our first trick, da da. You hear nothing, and it's like, oh, okay, well, keep going, and we do our next thing, and you hear,
Oh my goodness.
and you're thinking, oh, that's the first 15 seconds, and we have another 4 minutes. And so we kept going. At the end, he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Gonzo and Olaf from Switzerland," and you hear,
what happened?
and so you leave the ring, and then after that you think that was our first number of 5 that we had to do, and it was horrible.
All 5s were not well accepted?
All 5s were not well accepted. I mean, by the time we were doing our 5th one, he'd say, "Ladies and gentlemen, representing Switzerland, Gonzo and Olaf." And we'd come out, and literally you'd hear like the doors going, people like leaving. Oh, it was like a desert. You heard the tumbleweeds. But you had to go on. So
But you're very, very honest. And did you ever find out what was it? The theme, the topic, or the snotty audience?
No. Well, I have to say, there's no such thing as a bad audience, only bad clowns. I really believe that, we were trying to do funny things instead of be funny. Which is very different.
Very different.
If you go out and say, "Hey, look at me, boom, and hit my head," instead of going out there and doing something, and it's like, wait, why are you laughing?
Yeah.
And so I think we were trying to
overdo
do
it.
funny things instead of be funny. But we were young, nervous, and
Yes.
wanted to do good.
Yes. Well, before I forget, what I would like to show is the flyer for the fundraiser. And then maybe I'll, so there it is. And there's quite a lot of information there. And so it's Friday, April 4th, and it's a Saturday. and it's going to take place at the Veterans Theatre.
Actually, we're playing Friday the 4th and Saturday the 5th at 7 in the evening.
Oh, yes.
And then there's a matinee on Sunday at 3
That's right.
at
Yes.
the Vets.
Yes.
And I would like to point out that it's not a production from Common House Productions. Common House Productions is a local theater company that I've worked with in the past.
I see. So it's our mistake.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's a self-produced benefit that is going to the Cesar Chavez CPAT and the Davis Schools Foundation.
And you wanted to mention that there is a discount code.
Yes, there's a special mystery discount code for Davis Media Access. If you have seen this show, you can go to the CPAT ticket address there, and in the discount code you put in DMA for Olaf, and that's the number 4. So it's capital DMA, the number 4, Olaf, all in caps, and you will get the special discount for watching the Olaf interview on Davis Media Access.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. It's a very nice treat here, benefit that we have. I'm afraid we're out of time at the moment. What I'd like to say is grazie di essere venuto.
Prego,
Merci
piacere mio.
beaucoup.
De rien.
Dankeschön.
Bitteschön, das wäre meine
And
Kleinigkeit.
gracias, muchas gracias
De nada.
for coming here and
My
taking
pleasure.
a little time. It was very, very entertaining. No chance of getting a sneak preview. In
No.
a one-word sneak preview on what you'll be doing.
One word.
Yes.
Something, hopefully that you'll laugh at. It could be funny. Actually, if you think it's going to be funny, invite all your friends. If you don't think it's going to be funny, invite people that you don't like. Either way, I'll sell tickets.
Well, I'm afraid our time is up. So thank you so much for coming
thank you, Lynn.
again. And thank you all for watching. If you'd like to see this program again, you can go to log on to our website, dctv.davismedia.org. And while you're there, you can maybe check out some of our other programs. And also I'd like to thank our fabulous technical crew. And this is Una, Terry, Daniel, and Diane. Thank you all. And you've been watching In the Studio. Thank you from all of us here at Davis Media Access. Thank you and see you next time.